That reminds me of my chemistry lessons. Not a pleasant memory. As long as the scientists are in the room, I'd better not touch anything important looking. That scientist looks like he is in an extremely bad mood. A 100-watt bulb. That's a bit of healthy competition for the sun. The door is secured with a huge padlock. Locked. If I switch on the light, the nice gentleman there may wake up. I'd better be very careful of him.
Which dumbass turned the light on? If I find out, I'll probably get another 15 years in the slammer.
Oh well, he'll definitely calm down soon. At least, I hope he will. That soldier's bag of medication. So, I've got the bottle of castor oil, his dirty books, and his smelly underwear. I will very generously leave where it is. Acacia honey! Sweet and with a mild aroma. I should know. I was a honeybee in my previous life. A very small bottle with a devastating effect. In you go. I'm sure that will be delicious. Or not delicious. Doesn't matter what else I throw in, it's not going to get any better. Well, what do you know? I should really take part in a cooking competition. I've got something here for you. Perhaps it will help improve your mood.
This is for me?
Yes, you do like bread and jam, don't you? I made it myself, just for you.
Thank you very, very much. Very interesting. You said you made it yourself. Yes, very interesting and very delicious. Thank you. I really needed it. I'm feeling much better already.
I'm very happy that you enjoyed it. Has it helped your mood a little?
Yes. I owe you one. If I can ever return the favor.
Then I'll get back to you. Maybe sooner than you think.
Anytime.
Phew, that was close. I have only just saved humanity from the terrible Dr. Jekyll.
Oh, thank you very much. Working with him is now so much more relaxed. I owe you one. So if you have any questions, I unfortunately can't tell you everything. I hope you understand that.
Of course. I'm happy that I can see your work at all. A soldier who interests herself for science, that's not a daily occurrence, is it?
No, and certainly not someone as pretty as you.
Oh, thank you. What you're doing here looks incredibly complicated.
Really? It's actually quite simple. These plant samples were exposed to radiation that is very similar to the radiation in the Tunguska region. At first the doses were kept rather low, and were then continually increased. I exposed the samples in that device over there to a flame with a constant temperature, and see what remains from the plant.
You burn plants?
Yes, you could say that. We are trying to determine which dosage of radiation no longer leads to the complete deterioration of the cell structure.
Wow, I even understood that.
Well, I deliberately left out 2/3 of the explanations.
Wonderful. Once in my life, I'm proud of my scientific abilities, and you blow the whole illusion apart.
I'm sorry.
What exactly will you be doing at our destination?
You mean in the research station?
Yes, exactly. There. Scientific assistants also seem to be easy to question on an international level. So, it has to do with the research station. Maybe I can squeeze an odd secret or two out of him. What exactly is your task at the station?
Unfortunately, I can't tell you that. Otherwise, the station wouldn't be a secret.
So, it's secret, is it? Very good. Come on, boy, tell me more. Yes, I understand, but perhaps you can tell me something which isn't quite so secret. I have unfortunately little idea about biology and chemistry, but it certainly is fascinating, isn't it?
I can only talk about what Dr. Lesniak and I are supposed to be doing there.
Sure.
A long time ago, they discovered that the plants in the region exhibit abnormal plant growth. It isn't a secret. It was all over the newspapers.
Yes, of course.
And now we are trying to influence this growth in a controlled manner.
Fascinating. And what is the goal?
Unfortunately, I can't say. But imagine if we could arbitrarily manipulate the growth of plants. That would solve the problem of world hunger in one fell swoop.
Wow, that really does sound like a huge goal.
Indeed.
What I wanted to ask you was...
Just a minute. If you can pester me with questions, then I can too.
Oh, yes, of course.
It's nothing personal. So, why have so many soldiers been brought into a prohibited zone?
Prohibited zone?
Yes, in the research station and everything. I mean, with the materials and all the people here, you could wage a small war.
Yes, well, I'm not allowed to talk about that. You scientists have your instructions, and unfortunately, we have ours.
Ah, I understand. I willingly tell you everything about our experiments, and I have one little question and get an answer like that.
I'm sorry. I would love to tell you everything I know, but that is very little anyway. It's nothing personal, but what I do know is top secret.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'll be off then.
Okay, see you later.
Hello. Are the good mood and the ability to concentrate back in gear?
Yep, I'm doing much better. I know that this obsession with bread and jam doesn't exactly speak well for a reputable scientist. It's just one of my quirks. I simply need it now and then.
Yeah, it's okay. We all have our weaknesses. Also, when some have a huge screw loose. What exactly do you do here?
We are studying the regenerative capabilities of certain plants.
Sounds very interesting. How does that work?
The study?
Yes.
We'll both be old and gray by the time I've explained it. Please don't misunderstand me. I don't think you are stupid. But you can't explain it in 5 minutes.
No, that's fine. You're probably right. Would it disturb you very much if I watched you working? I find all of that absolutely fascinating. I also promise not to ask too many stupid questions and not to interrupt.
All right, but don't touch anything. And if you have any questions, I'm sure Alexei will be happy to explain it to you.
Thank you. That's very nice of you. Are you the only scientists on board this train?
No, not as far as I know. Apparently there are a few on board, but the compartments are separated from one another, and the doors are being guarded by soldiers. That's too bad. It would have been interesting to discuss research results among yourselves. Well, hopefully we'll have enough time for that later.
You have no idea which of your other colleagues are on the train?
No. The only person who has a complete list of the scientists and scientific researchers is Professor Sidorkin.
I'll have to get my hands on this list. Then I'll know for sure if Dad is on the train or not, and exactly where I can find him. Who is the Sidorkin?
Professor Sidorkin? He is my direct superior and the scientific director of the biologists. You don't know him? He's an absolute genius in his field. There's hardly anyone who knows more than he does in the field of molecular biology.
Oh, that must have passed me by. Do you think I could talk with him for a moment?
He's right next door. But if I were you, I wouldn't bother him right now. He's under a lot of stress and is extremely irritable. And when I say extremely irritable, I mean even more irritable than me when I have to go 2 weeks without bread and jam.
Wow, that bad. Then I'll be careful. Why is he so irritable?
There are a few problems, but I'm not allowed to talk about it. I have to go back to work now. You'll excuse me.
If I promise not to stand in the way and not to ask too many stupid questions, can I have a look around?
Sure, but don't touch anything.